Welcome to Joe's Medicine Tarot. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'd like to take this time to say thank you to the medicine keepers and to members of the Porta Occulta. These are both paying tiers of this channel, so thank you guys so much. All right, Creator, what is the messages? Please bless this reading. Great mystery, higher soul of all who hear this message. Please bless this reading. Please let the ancestors of the viewers come into this reading. Let the voices of the ancestors be heard. Please use me as a clear channel for the collective. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The first card out, we have somebody who induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. This is the saboteur in reverse. So the saboteur in its shadow energy. Very interesting. Tell us more, please. Tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us more. Interesting. So sabotaging energy. I feel like you've kind of shaken someone up a little bit. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, what's on the bottom of the deck is mystic. Okay, you're a mystic. Okay. You're whoever I'm speaking to. You have the mystic archetype. Okay, let's define the card. Let's look at the card. This reveals intimate union with the divine. So I feel like you're a person that demonstrates intimate union with the divine. I feel like you demonstrate that beautifully through your life. The shadow attributes of the mystic is delusional rapport with the divine. So it's like, I don't know if I want to say that, Creator, but anyway, just things that are just delusional, like, oh, the divine tells me whether I should stand up or sit down or eat a peanut butter sandwich, you know, like, no. Hold on, I'm just gonna have a little drink of cappuccino. Okay. Okay, so what we've got here is, okay, so you're the mystic. With the mystic archetype, it's similar. Okay, so you revel in intimate union with the divine and delusional rapport with the divine. Okay, so I feel like maybe there is a little bit of delusional rapport, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a way of understanding rites of passage as a mystic. The divine does not use pain to like initiate. Like, okay, let me tell you that this way. Somebody once who I used to esteem very high, but I no longer do. This person told me a story about how eagles create their nest for their young. And they create, you know, sticks and branches, and it's all really, you know, well, sturdy structure. And then they line the inner lining, and they put first really big, like thorns, really thick, heavy thorns from some plant or branches that are pointy up. And then they lace it with, layer it with down and then feathers and nice soft hay and whatever else. And that's not true. And then the babies, as they grow, they sink down into the fur and the spikes dig into them, and that's what propels them out of the nest. That's not true. That is a myth. That's a myth, and it's based on initiation through eagles are seen as like one of the highest forms of consciousness, and to bring the dimension of rites of passage through pain even into the higher dimensions, really? So it's kind of like, no. See, how eagles make their nest is they don't put any spikes in there. They make it very comfortable, very homey, no matter how big the babies get. But eagles will interfere a lot. They feed their babies, and when the babies get too close to the edge, the eagle will bring it back into the nest and protect it. No, little one, get back into the nest. Eagles interfere. They make sure their young are safe, and their young are allowed to jump in the air and try to fling their wings, knowing the nest, because the nests are huge. They're huge. They're not just some little tiny little thing, and they're massive. I remember driving up, without giving away my location here, driving up somewhere, a place where eagles live, okay, on the West Coast, and we passed by this massive tree that was like, it had like a branch coming up out of it, and everything that was sticking out over the branch, like over this massive like stump, like half of a branch, like it was almost like, I can't even explain this, but it looked like a freaking pterodactyl nest of what I would imagine because this thing was fucking huge, and it was an eagle's nest. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, they're descents from, what are they? Raptors. Eagles were raptors. So anyway, I'm like, I'm damn right they were, as I'm looking at the huge thing as we're driving by, Totally. Okay, so anyway, no, not all initiation requires pain. Okay, initiation at a higher dimension, will you be initiated with love? Can you allow yourself to be initiated with being nurtured, being properly fed, properly protected from violence, being cared for, housed, clothed, loved, given provision for, and all of that? And encouraged to leap in the air, encouraged to spread your wings, encouraged knowing the nest, the home is going to catch you. Meaning your belief systems that house you, catch you. They stand, they're true, because they're built on truth and love. And so that's like an eagle's nest. When the babies get old enough to begin to be where the parents feel as they watch their young, and by the behavior of the young, they're like, okay, they are ready. They're ready to go. So then the parents will not interfere with the eagle going closer to the edge. And then the eaglet will then spread its wings, and they're not allowed to fly until the wings get to full span. And then the parents like, okay, they are ready now. And then the eagle will come to the edge of the nest and then dive off and learn how to fly. Just do or die. If they fall, they fall. The parent will go down and bring them back up. They'll figure it out. But it is not an initiation it is not a rite of passage into maturity through the initiation of pain. Okay? So whatever myth that was told to me by somebody who I thought was in those higher dimensions was not, because that story itself is initiation of pain, which is of a lower dimension. It's the lower dimensions initiate through pain. That's a tribal belief. That belief is not being, whoever that is not being individuated into the sovereign one with agency. Can you hear what I'm saying? There's a difference there. Okay, so saboteur, for some reason that's coming into this eaglet story. I feel like you are an eagle. You are able to fly and soar high. There's somebody who you threaten, is very threatened of you. You or somebody else. Someone here is an eagle. Someone else here is threatened of that eagle. Sabotaging, trying to induce self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Like somebody that wants you to walk out on yourself. Somebody that wants you to how do I say this? Like violate your rights and wants you to be okay with it, kind of a thing. And you are the healer. You have a passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and you have ability to transform pain into healing. So there we go, there we go, there we go. There is some sort of a lower dimensional tribal initiation. Like when you take a look at the movie The Emerald Forest. Is it The Emerald Forest? The Emerald Forest? Yes, when the little blonde boy gets adopted out, or gets lost in the jungle and gets adopted by that African, no, they're not African, they're Brazilian, Amazon Brazilian tribe. And he ends up one of them. In his initiation into manhood, he's got to drink a psychedelic. He's like 13, I think, 13 years old. He's got to drink some sort of a potion that's like a sensory, maybe it's ayahuasca, it could be. And he's covered with this thick paste. And the shaman who's holding the ceremony on his behalf will use some sort of an instrument that attracts a certain kind of insect, plus the salve he's wearing attracts them too. And he'll be covered in them. And he's got to be able to keep his mind, keep his presence of mind while in that condition and seeing the helping spirits that are there to help him through this initiation. Holy shit, this is incredible. I don't know what this is, but whatever's happened here, you have passed through this. You have passed through. You have passed through this. You're able to transcend this. You're totally able to transcend this. Somebody who meant to undermine you has no power over you. Someone only has power over you, like harmful manipulative, power struggle kind of power. That they only win if you acknowledge they win. If you're giving them archetypal power in some way, some sort of like where you lose power, where you hemorrhage power, and you can feel it in your belly, you can feel it in your body, you're losing power, like a balloon deflating. There's like, there's this mist of power, but this is not happening. I feel like this has happened in the past with you, but you've gotten to know that part of yourself. You know when you're leaking energy. You know when you're leaking power. You know when somebody has punctured your defenses with a word, a sentence, some sort of a violating act of some kind. Some sort of a violating act of some kind, and it causes you to hemorrhage power. And at that time, possibly you maybe didn't have language on how to deal with that. Maybe you'd never encountered such a blatant, intentional harm. It was like somebody, and I feel like these are people, for those of you that resonate with this, those were people in your life who you trusted, who you never thought something like that would have come out of these people, ever. And it did. And that's what made this hemorrhage of power so significant. But you healed from it. This was like dimensions of trust that were shattered, that now you're rewiring your trust, but into a much higher dimension, because you see the truth about human beings. Human beings are not here just to live a physical carnal life. Human beings are here to get fucking messy. Are here to learn lessons, are here to break some eggs. They're trying to make their own omelets, and they're going to break some eggs. And that may be, it affects other people's lives. Okay, but anyway. Holy, oh! Are you kidding me? What? Okay, so whatever happened here, somebody tried to fuck you up. They tried to sabotage you in some way. I'm sorry to laugh. It's just the cards come out. They tried to fuck you up in some way, like create some sort of violating you or your rights or something about you in some way, and expected you to go along with it, and you totally like overcame this. Like you were like, whatever this was, you either leaned into it or yeah, I feel like you leaned into it. You totally, in whatever way that you leaned into it, it'll be different for all of you. Everyone has their own way of leaning in, depending on what the situation is. Whatever this was, you leaned into it. They didn't expect it. Leaning into it gave you like, you're like, okay, I can do this. I can handle that. Yeah, that's fine. You know, yep, that's totally fine. Whoever this is wasn't expecting that. Whoever this is, you leaned into it like, yes, I can do this. I can talk about this. Let's go here. Let's open this up, shall we? Let's talk about it, shall we? This person isn't expecting you to do that. You, and I don't feel like you guys had a talk or anything, but you totally, it's almost like you become like liquid, almost like really flexible. Like all of a sudden you let go, like there's like a tug of war and you're just like, okay, I don't care. The person goes falling back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that kind of energy and it makes you super happy. The 10 of Cups totally liberates you. Completely liberates you and your inner 12, your archetypes, you know, your 4 survival archetypes according to the way I know it, and your 8 archetypes that you have contracts with. The 4 survival archetypes are yours for life. They don't change, according to Carl Jung. And that is the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute, and the child. These are the 4 archetypes that every human being has in order to survive and navigate in the world, to survive the world. Okay? This kind of work we're doing right now, what this kind of introspection is a luxury. This is a luxury. A lot of the world, their finances are paying for other things. They're paying for distractions, addictions, belief systems, you know, like everything is unfolding according to natural law. Everything is unfolding according to natural law. What is natural law? Natural law, that's right. I was looking this up. Natural law is the idea that there is a built-in moral order to reality. So everything is unfolding. You don't have to make it fair. You don't have to take the reins on this and be like, oh, I know how this should be done, you know. No, this is a much bigger spirit, larger intelligence. I believe it's connected to the higher soul of everybody here on the planet, everybody who's ever been, and everybody who will be. You know, it's massive. It's timeless. There's so much consciousness in this moral intelligence at work behind everything. That's natural law. So things that happen, you can learn, you give it grace. Like that's just, anger's just karmic runoff. Just notice it, release it. Don't get caught up in it and don't fucking feed it, whatever you do. Okay. Okay. So, here you go. So it gives you a lot of joy. The star, it lets you heal from a situation. It's no longer has power over you because you totally like accept it. You're not pushing against it. You're not resisting. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's totally fine. And whoever this is so disappointed. Whoever tried to sabotage you is just like, you know, like sitting there like miserable, like like miserable, just like oh my god, that's funny. I don't think a reading has made me laugh like this in a long time. Like it's like a belly laugh. That is so satisfying, you know. Happiness is the best revenge, man. Happiness and empowerment. I think someone underestimated you. They know you are a true alchemist. You have the true passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. You have an ability to help transform pain into healing. That's what I did. I feel like this person unleashed an arrow into your life. Sure. Some sort of offense, whatever it was. For some of you, it'll be worse than it was for others of you. But whatever this was, you were able to transform it into healing, into wisdom, into gold. That's what the alchemist is. Transforms lead into gold. See, yeah, that's it, man. That's it. The church thought that the mystery schools were actually turning actual lead into gold. And the mystery schools were like, if the men of the church are that stupid to think that we're actually turning actual literal lead into gold, let them think that. Yes, like just pretend to hide it. Like, yeah, we are. What do you want? You know, like, you know, pretend to hide it. Because what the mystery schools truly were was turning lead into gold. Okay? Seeing through the lead of your perception, seeing situations that are recognizing where your psyche is full of lead. That's what that is. Recognizing where your psyche is full of lead and transcending that into gold, into enlightenment, awakening yourself. And that's through recognizing, see, this is it. Many people, one of the number one causes of suffering is that people, one of the number one causes of suffering today is that, especially in the West, is that people are called and they don't recognize it. Okay? A calling will grip you from the inside. It'll take hold of you and it won't let go. It will make you very uncomfortable. It will upset the apple cart. It will also cause you to transform. And that from the inside out. And that transformation will be visible to everyone around you when it happens. Very real. That is the call of the mystic. That is the call of the mystic. Okay? Like I said, in Christianity, there's the outer court and then there's the inner court. Many people are Christians, but it doesn't mean they're mystics. They can go there to belong, to be part of the group experience and to belong, but there's no transformation. They receive forgiveness, but there's no transformation. Do you understand? Like, how is that even possible? Like, no transformation and you receive forgiveness? Like, how is that even possible? Because the consciousness is full of lead. They're not ready to see that yet. That lead is what's sustaining them. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? But for those of you that are called, you go through the fire. You go through the refinement process. That's what this is. Somebody meant to cause you a lot of uncomfortability and you leaned right into it. You went through the fire. You let it. You allowed it. You allowed the fire. See, you are somebody who is wise. Because you know, they just said, you know that the truth is what is. The truth is what is. So if something has been like into your life, you're like, okay, this is what is. You can't be like, that didn't happen. This shouldn't be happening. You know, oh my God. And then go all into the resistance instead of wasting time and let's clean this shit up. Like, let's clean this up. Let's get to work and start cleaning this up. You are somebody who knows the truth is what is. Falsehood is what seems to be. So let's take that example of somebody that vomited a bunch of bile and shit and vomit into your life. And this person seemed to be healed. They seemed to be an advocate of some kind, some sort of an advocate or a helper or some sort of healer or some sort of person that is good until the truth comes out. They're in a situation that brings out the worst in them and they unleash that into your life. A true healed person will not do that. Hurt people, hurt people. Healed people, heal people. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I mean. The truth is what is. You see what seems to be, that person seemed to know a lot of spirituality. They knew a lot of scripture. They knew a lot about tarot even, or whatever, or divination or shamanism or whatever it is. But when they were put in a situation that tested their character, vomit and bile and feces came out. Gotta pay attention. The truth is what is, not what seems to be. See, and in my past, I would have deceived myself like, oh, that's just because, that's just this one time. Like, oh my God. And the creator would have been like, oh, okay, here we go for round 2. This may be round 3, 4, 5. We don't know. Let's everybody cross your fingers that she's gonna get it this time. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. So that's it. So yeah. So whoever this was hoped that you were not the magician that you are. And that if you are, they hoped to stop you. They hoped to stop you. But what's happening here is they can't stop you. They meant to slow you down. They meant to confuse you about yourself. Like I said, only someone only has power over you if you give them that power, and you weren't giving them this power. Okay, here's an example and there's some sort of witchcraft, some sort of a lie, some sort of an action that was false, that was put forward, that was not true, or something like that, some sort of a betrayal, something that was done out of deception, some sort of a deceptive or harmful act. Come back, please. Come back. Yes, okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is how black magic works. And this story is told by Caroline Myss when she speaks about a woman who was in some sort of a big city. She was in a big city in the United States, and she was walking through a multicultural part of the city. And there was a woman who lived in a certain house there that everybody knew was a brujo. And this woman, I think she was Caucasian, she was walking by this house where the brujo lived. And she said the brujo looked out the window at her and made some face, or some face, you know what I'm saying? Like some fearless demonic face at her. And she freaked out. She thought that she had been put under a spell. Caroline said that they brought in they made it out like they did a mock exorcism on her, without bringing the actual Vatican in. They had people there doing not necessarily a mock exorcism, but kind of like an exorcism. Then they had shamans brought in. Then they brought in Caroline herself to try to break this woman's belief. Break through this woman's belief that she had been put under a spell. This woman was a doctor of education. She was a doctor of education. She was an educated woman, and she ended up dying. She gave this woman, this brujo, this concept of black magic so much power that she hemorrhaged. She hemorrhaged and it ended up killing her. That's what I'm talking about here. Somebody tried to put something into motion and it did not work. And now this person is deep in disappointment because they were not able to stop you. They are actually in a place of poverty while you are in a place of manifestation, and they are not able to stop you. Tell us more about the healer, please. Tell us more about the healer. Yes, they have no power over you. Oh God. They spent too much money, too much energy trying to make your downfall. Oh, geez. Someone is vexed because they spent too much energy, vital energy, that should have been going to their health, and instead it went toward you to harm you, to interfere with you, some sort of destructive energy that was sent your way. And now this person is like emotionally, spiritually, maybe even energetically bankrupt. Like they are, I feel like they're either financially bankrupt or energetically, like when you can't energetically finance your own health or your own life or your own dreams or something. Yes, they can't go up against you because you are in a higher dimension. You are going into a higher dimension. You're not just dreaming about it. This is real. The truth is what is. It's not a fantasy. It's not something you're telling everybody, oh, look how much I've changed, and then your life hasn't changed at all. You know what I'm saying? Like your life has like changed. You are not you are not the same person you used to be. It is seen, it is felt, it is known by everyone around you. That's what I mean. You are called. The transformation you have gone through is known. It is seen. Not only from you, by you on the inner. Yes, it's like you you went through like the storm of the century on the inner. Nobody knows what you went through on the inside of you. Oh, they just said, but now you are one hell of a sailor. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. And you are Queen of Cups. You were able to temper a storm. Temper human weather, psychic weather that was put before you. You took advantage of this opportunity and healed yourself. You took advantage of this opportunity. The Creator's hand is also in this opportunity. So the Creator was supporting whatever this happened, knowing you would get over it. Knowing like you would overcome this. It's like the reading I did the other day when you're like seeing you like Job, and the Creator's like, go ahead and challenge him. You're not going to be able to challenge them. And the devil's like licks his lips and rolls off his sleeves and like starts marching towards you. And you overcame him. It didn't overcome you, because your connection to a much higher divine force within you. What is within is without. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What manifests in our life, it is on the outside as it is on the inside. Okay, that's for those of you that can hear in those heights, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so yes, the Creator knew you would overcome this and make it through the narrow gate into the higher dimension. There's a narrow gate here with the Ace of Pentacles that goes into the mountainous realm. You can just see a little piece of the mountains through the gate here. That's what that is. You're going into higher elevation. Okay. What is the Advocate now? Inspires you to put compassion into action. Light attribute, Advocate. Advocate. Beautiful energy, you guys. Beautiful reading. What is Advocate, Creator? Yes. Holy smoke. You are like a mystery school. I feel like you will be. If you haven't already been, you will be called into your own mystery school, into a deeper realm of knowledge, experience, spirituality, intimacy with the Creator, intimacy with your soul. If you haven't already been, it's coming. It's unfolding. It's not that it's coming because it's already here. It's like a flower opening. It's coming. It is you. What is Advocate, Creator? The Six of Pentacles in reverse. So somebody cannot dominate you. They cannot dominate you. You are the advocate. It pisses them off that you are the advocate. They want to be the advocate. What's here that's face up right now? Oh, interesting. These two cards are face up right now, and the Creator saying, yes, this is the end of a cycle, a major cycle, but it's going to take some time. The cycle is not completely finished yet, but the plug has definitely been pulled. Okay, so it's like everything is going to drain out now. It's going to drain out. It's going to take some time, but just know the clock is ticking. The plug has been pulled. Oh, geez. Oh, that's a trumpet call for some of you who can hear this, okay? This is the end. This is fixed energy. These are long-standing cycles in your life. This is a fixed energy that the cycle has come to a close. It is not yet finished. You're still going to swirl around a couple more times, but the drain has been pulled. Understand that. The waters will not calm. They're not going to settle back down. Okay, they're going to drain out, and you need to get out. You need to get out of this whirlpool. You need to get out of this dimension and into calmer waters. Okay, out of this cycle that's closing out. Yes, the Two of Wands upright. That's exactly right. I feel that's what you're doing right now is planning. You've got the world in your hands. I feel like the world is responding to you. This is young High Priestess energy. I don't mean you're a High Priestess. I'm saying this is young. You are starting out into a new office, a new title of some kind, and you're taking with you the legs of the mother. You're learning how to, yes, okay, you're learning how to integrate the legs of the mother. Okay. You're learning to advocate. You're learning to integrate the legs of the mother in a new perspective of understanding the legs of the mother in a new perspective. You had to work with people like this. You had to. It was an initiation into wisdom. Because yes, where you're going, this is Emperor energy. You are going into new power. You are developing a new power, sovereign power, emperor, worldly power. It is getting developed through your life to help people develop their own sovereignty in whatever capacity that this is. Tell us more about the advocate, please. Tell us more about the advocate. Yes, you were such a good emperor because you've had to deal with a lot of people like this. That's what I was just saying. You had to deal with people like this to be an effective leader. You can't go out into the world and be like a leader and be like, everybody wants to be healed and everybody wants to hold hands and sing kumbaya. Like, no. No. What you don't know will definitely get you hurt in the real world. You have to be street smart. I'm not saying giving your life to the streets, giving your light to the streets. Interesting. I'm not saying giving your light to the streets or giving yourself to the streets. I'm saying you have to have street knowledge. Okay? Because you are dealing with a domain that is very, very deceptive. Yeah. Very, very deceptive. Tell us more, please. Okay, the Queen of Wands in reverse. Yes, You dealt with somebody who was very dishonest, who was trying to affect your advocacy of others. They were jealous. It was the Queen of Wands in reverse, somebody very revengeful, very angry, very hostile, unhappy with the choices she's made, whether this is a man or a woman. Unhappy with the choices she's made in her life. But instead of taking responsibility for it, she wanted to blame you, and she failed. She failed. Okay. Last one. Yes. Oh my gosh. Because you're out of her reach, because you've entered into a new paradigm. This is, you are entering into a new paradigm, a new dimension of skill. I'm feeling it's even, for some of you, it could be mediumship, because you're holding food of the deep. So teaching people about symbolism, understand. Yeah, you have an understanding of the depths of the underworld. In order to navigate the underworld, you have to know symbolic sight. Okay? Because things are not what they seem in the underworld. Okay, lower dimensional energy, please, with this reading. Lower dimensional energy, please, with this reading. Please tell us lower dimensional energy with this reading. There it is. The Magician. Oh my gosh. Number 72. Andromedus. Andromalius. Maybe zoom in a little bit if you can on your phone. Andromalius. And an upper dimensional card. And what's on the bottom of the deck for the Shamanic deck here? The Six of Pentacles upright. Whoever this was that meant to try to take you down could not take you down because of the inner resources you have. Like I said, I feel like this person is a bankrupt. I feel like they have gone bankrupt. They wanted what you have because they're bankrupt. They wanted to take your knowledge, take your role, become you in some way, even though you can't, and they know that too, but they had no control over this dark horse. They had no control over the dark horse. There was an element of jealousy, envy, greed, hostility, unfinished business. Which one? There's two. I'm not taking both. One on the bottom, okay? God, Master of the Universe. What? This is Hey-Il, 10 of Cups. Oh my God. Master of the Universe, Divine Warrior, confounds the wicked and brings victory and peace. Oh, I feel like the Creator has judged someone through you. They have judged someone. It has judged someone. Judgment has been judged. Judgment has come in. God, Master of the Universe, the 10 of Cups. Divine Warrior, confounds the wicked. Holy smoke. You know, God is loving, but God is also like a really good parent, and really good parents discipline their kids. Doesn't mean they got to beat the shit out of them, but I mean they discipline them. Come on now. This is now 72. Andromalius, the restorer of order. Final reckoning and balance restored. Final reckoning. Final reckoning. Holy smoke. The shadow saboteur, how this card, how this energy, this low dimensional energy of Andromalius came in to sabotage you was through a obsession with exposure, justice without healing. So like somebody wanting to cast on some sort of obsession with exposure, making you obsessed about exposing something, or them maybe exposing something about you. Justice without healing. Yes, they were trying to get a form of justice. They were trying to bring justice into their life by unleashing hell into yours. The sovereign power trained, restorative justice and closure. So this is the end. This is the end of a matter. Holy smoke. I feel like you've come through several in the recent past. You've come through several portals, several closing, crossing over several thresholds at the same time. Like the work you're doing internally and the challenges you're meeting externally. In your own life. Doesn't mean anyone else has to be like aware of this, or maybe they are, I don't know, but you're meeting external challenges and internal challenges. You're crossing over many different thresholds within yourself, and it is unlocking the world. It is unlocking your world, your new world, a new paradigm. Restorative justice and closure. The entanglement points of this card has been unresolved grievance. So this was unresolved. This is Chiron energy. This is shamanic energy. Whatever this was not easy to carry. Unfinished accountability. Whatever this was, somebody does not have the strength to be accountable. Accountability does not mean weakness. Accountability means incredible strength. Having the accountability of a master. Having the strength to stand behind your words and to justify yourself. And they can't. They won't, because they can't accept what they've done. They can't even bear what they've done. Bearing it doesn't just mean looking at it. Bearing it means also carrying it. Okay, unbalanced wrongs and corrupt justice systems. So there you go, unbalanced wrongs and corrupt justice systems. I feel like you've had to carry a lot of this. I feel like when they're showing me your legs, I'm seeing like the legs of like Hercules, like very like great big fucking tree trunk legs, you know, like strong. So Andromalius has come into your life, allowing truth to restore balance rather than perpetuate conflict. Allowing truth to restore balance rather than perpetuate conflict. So whatever's happened here, this is Mars energy. Pisces. Yeah, this is the end of a cycle, all right. Holy shit. And the 10 of Cups. Yeah, this is definitely some kind of judgment. Definitely some kind of judgment. Saturn is also behind this. There's Saturn also in this also too, as well as Libra, the restorative of balance. There is a restoration of balance, and this is the magician energy. So, okay, I allow truth to restore balance. A force within you brings final reckoning and calls for resolution that restores order, not endless conflict. So yes, there's a force within you brings final reckoning and calls for a resolution that restores order, not endless conflict. I feel like whatever has been said or done or something, it is landed on the earth with a very loud like boom. Like a very loud boom. I feel like somebody realizes that you're not who they thought you are. You're not who somebody, I think somebody, holy smoke, are you fucking kidding me? somebody was fed information about you to some, like whoever this was with this kind of issue. Maybe it's more than one person, maybe it's all parties involved that I'm hearing about, but somebody was told about you by somebody else who is intimidated as fuck of you, but tries to diminish you because they can't handle how strong you are, how powerful you are, how your energy is big. And I feel like this person, oh my gosh, this person, whoever was telling whoever told the other person about you, I feel like they felt like they had a victory over you, but it was only a victory in their head. It was a victory in their head. You took it as curriculum. Oh, you know what they just showed me? The tortoise and the hare. They thought that, oh, I won. I'll just, lean back and, go visiting. How's it going? Waste a bunch of fucking time. And here you are. You took this medicine that somebody unleashed into your life and thought they had victory over you because of it. And they sat in glory and boasted and savored the flavor of feeling like they beat you. They seduced themselves with their own neurology. Oh my God, they seduced themselves. And they're, oh my gosh, I feel like their guides even allowed it to happen because it wasn't true. They seduced themselves to feel like they defeated you. They didn't defeat anything. Just because you disappeared and went underground doesn't mean you were defeated. It means you went into the underworld to do some work. This person's stupid. They don't recognize this kind of language. They see with these eyes. They haven't developed their spiritual eyes. They can't see. She that has ears, let them hear. They can't. They're stupid. They're deaf, dumb, and blind. Oh my God. No wonder. So they're now telling someone else about you. And so somebody thought it would be easy to kind of take you down because they felt like they took you down. They won over you. They have power over you in some way, and they fucking well didn't. 71. Oh my God, this is 71. This is 72. Interesting. So there's some sort of progression. There's a progression here. Okay, hey IL, Master of the Universe. Martian defense or martial defense, martial arts defense. I think it's martial defense. I might have spelled that wrong. Martian defense, Neptunian. Martian defense, Mars defense. Like I said, Mars is here. Oh my God. Mars is here. So this is Martian defense. The higher dimensional energy is defense of the lower dimensional energy. So the higher, oh my God, I love these cards, how they work together. Like, oh, wow. So that's what that is, Martian defense. So you're fighting Mars with your own Mars, your own capacity to defend yourself, but from a much higher place. Strength and spiritual defense, the 9 of Wands. This corresponds also to the 9 of Wands, but to the 10 of Cups. Resilient boundary. The defender of sacred boundaries. Oh, somebody overstepped a sacred land. They stepped onto sacred land. That's why this is finished. This is finished. Protects against spiritual, emotional, and psychic attack. governs righteous defense, strengthens inner fortitude, encourages courage without aggression, guards spiritual sovereignty. The upright meaning of this card, that has Martian defense against the lower dimensional energy, against this destructive energy. Spiritual protection, strengthened boundaries, courage under pressure, defense without hatred, sovereign resilience. Defense without hatred. So you don't buy into all the drama. You just say what a thing is. You are fucking super direct. You say what you mean what you say. I feel like that's why a lot of people don't want to fuck with you. You're probably a lot like me. You know, that's how I am. I'm like, don't give me any bullshit. I don't have time for it. Come on now. I don't think any of us do at this point. Okay, key phrase, stand without becoming hardened. Yes, stand without becoming hardened. Yes, unclear boundaries invite violation. So I'm thinking that's what happened here. There was unclear boundaries, possibly. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe there was clear boundaries. Maybe, holy shit, this was sacred land. This was sacred ground within you, and somebody stepped over it like they were... I'm seeing muddy boots, like someone stepping over it, just having no social cues. They have no fucking sense. They have no fucking sense about them. They're just like, duh. Like, oh, let me just, like a caveman stomping and like, oh, what's up? You know, like, oh, Jesus. Okay, the initiatory, Hayal initiates the soul into sovereign defense. Ooh, this angel teaches that true protection arises from clarity, not aggression, and strength without hatred preserves the soul. Strength without hatred. I feel like whoever this is, that's what the grinding wheel is. That's what the grinding wheel is. Like, the grinding wheel, and many occult texts speak of the grinding wheel. You're either the miller or you're the wheat. In many cases, people are both, but they're not aware of how they're complicit to their own grinding away of their creative power. They're not aware of how they're complicit to it. And they end up grinding themselves away. They're grinding away their will, grinding away their creativity, grinding away their health, their essence, their chi, their protection, their boundaries. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're not aware of how they are in on it. Okay, and I feel like whatever's happened here, this is final. Whatever's been said, whatever's been exposed, I feel like you have defeated somebody. You have, and the Creator has allowed it. What they did, they went too far. They just said they went too far. They went too far. They went too far. That's not okay. They went over. I don't know what this is, you guys, but you do. And your spirits there, your guides, their guides, both agree this person went too far. Now there has to be consequences now, and there must be consequences, whatever they are. It's going to be different for everybody. Karma is not punitive. Yes, 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 yes. If you did nothing wrong to bring about an offense, karma is not pointing its arrow at you to punish you. Karma is pointing its arrow at you because there's areas of you that need to be awakened, that is not minding the door. There are parts of you that was not minding the boundaries. You're not minding the door. So karma allowed something to touch you in order to like awaken in you. Now, on the other hand, if you mean to do something, that's a different story. That's a different story. That's a different intention. So whatever's happened here, karma allowed this to serve you. Because you have an antinomial perspective. That's why. Oh my God. Because you have an antinomial perspective. You use the forces of good and evil to propel you up. To propel you up. That's exactly right. You know the truth. Good and evil are not at work fighting over your soul. That's a religious costume party, and it's not true. It is not true. It's only true if you say it's true. It is as you say it is, O Master. Romans 14:14. Okay? It is as you say it is. Period. Period. You are the genie, but you are the genie under divinity. You are divine genie. You are a divine genie. Oh, I think I'm already over an hour. Okay. Self-mastery, anointing, animus. Oh, spirit guides, animus. So whatever's done, you have the capacity now to take action in your life. There's going to be green lights now. Doors are opening now. Doors are opening now. You were going up against a warlock. You have spirit guides around you. You were going up against a warlock. For your evolution, like I said, the Creator allowed this for your evolution. This warlock has been judged. Yep. Illumination. Anointed. Yes, because you are anointed. You have the illumination because you know you've gone through it. You are anointed. You and your spouse are both anointed. You are both protected. And self-mastery because you are otherworldly. I love this reading, you guys. You guys are fucking incredible. All right, you guys. Ooh, and on the bottom of the deck is Evil Eye. Whoever's watching you, you've overcome this person, and all they can do is watch you and regret. Regret is illumination that comes too late. Sorry. All right, you guys, you take care, and I'll see you in the next reading. Thank you.